You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, there are 26,000 of you guys on the line with us this afternoon, or evening for some. And I guess most of you guys are just chilling and got, the ribs in your mouth, or the chicken, or the fish, whatever you like. I don't eat any of that, but it's Happy 4th of July for some. So happy 4th of July from me and Vigilantes Radio. And I just want to say, Bella hey, make a wish and look away. You say, what did that mean, Dini? Well, make a wish and don't ever look at hay again. Then your wish will come true. That's a little rhyme that I've heard from my childhood. And ironically, I heard the same rhyme earlier today. Yeah. So I heard two girls talking, and one girl said to the other, how do you know wishes come true? My grandmother told me. Did you make a wish? Yeah, and it hasn't come true yet, but it will. My grandma's wish came true, but you can't tell what it is or it won't come true. So I overheard this conversation actually earlier today on a school bus filled with some second graders, and we were going on a field trip earlier to a working pioneer farm where kids got to grind corn, milk a cow, and experience what life was like 100 years ago in central Mississippi. We were driving past fields where hay had been cut and pressed into large round bales. And the young girls were seriously discussing the possibility of wishes coming true. They really believed that their wish would come true if they followed the right procedure. And I was struck by the refreshing, naive innocence of their belief. There was no doubt in their minds that wishes would come true. At the thinking level, it is, of course, not in line with reality. We seasoned adults know that merely wishing for something does not make it happen. And yet, there was something in the matter-of-factness of these girls that was truly captivating. For children, anything is possible. Life and youth are eternal. Their young minds have not yet learned about limitations. In fact, their minds are very open and free. Hearing them talk made me wonder, how many of our limits are real? How many are self-imposed? Children can see things that we can't, simply because they're not blind by years of experience. When we don't get our way time after time, when the things we wish for don't ever happen, then experience begins to tell us that wishes can't come true. Goals and dreams can't come true. And then something very tragic happens. We stop making wishes, we stop making goals, we stop dreaming. The sad thing is, just because the time when we have the resources and abilities to make our own wishes come true, we give up on wishing at all. As a result, all our sensible, decision making goes to waste. We are in touch with reality. We are competent and skilled, but we don't have any reason to use our skills, really. Without wishes, we end up working to satisfy someone else's wishes. Now, wishes don't come true just because we wish them. They come true, though, and they do. And the first step in making them come true is to have them in the first place. We all know of the importance of goals. Goals begin with wishes. Goals are basically wishes that are written down and remembered. It is impossible to develop effective goals without desire. Oh, you can stick with a lot of platitudes together and call them goals. Real, meaningful, effective goals come from desire, and that means wishing. Don't be afraid of wishing. Seek them out and then formalize them as goals. Don't set goals just to look good or because you think you should have what everyone else has. Look inside of yourself. Look back at yourself as a second grader and remember what it was like to wish for something, to really want it so much that you do anything to get it. That's the kind of wish that will give you the focus and the determination that you need to move forward in your life. Take it from me, guys. Dini.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos and starseeds, and 2 times for my people who are vegans. We are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners, and we've been at this for 3 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we're still growing, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you again, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. You know the number to dial. It's 701-801-9813 to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in and mix directly from my website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Scroll over to the Vigilantes Radio tab and slap that go live button, and you'll be right here live in the mix with all of us, or in the chat room. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here. And as always, all episodes are available for free download. You can grab that from Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Well, I don't want to keep 26,000 of you guys waiting any longer, so let's go ahead and dive deep into this interview, shall we? Oh, yeah. So today's interview is the Malcolm King Davis interview, and I'm definitely your host, Dini-Mussolini. I must say, dear listeners, this will be a very interesting interview to conduct. After researching and learning about Malcolm King Davis, I came out with all my questions in hand, but also left with 2 stunning impressions of how this artist operated. The first was looking over his post on Instagram. It was that he has an extreme sense of expression, which is very important in today's society of branding. And my second impression came from just how well those expressions are being pulled off. I absolutely love it. Meeting designers like him with real substance and a story makes me want to jump back into designing full time. But yeah, that's only a thought. My path and devotion is here with you guys, and I love it. Well, truthfully, for one of the first times in my interview experiences, I generally feel like I have no clue as what is going to come back through this interview with King. As far as answers go, this can go either way, I suppose. So, my style of interview is rambling and has often brought out many of a sad story or even stories of triumph just from my curiosity leading me to ask everything that's on my mind. No holds barred. So will we be surprised by the answers? I truly hope so, right? We hope to get, the stories behind these artists and give them a chance to tell their truth to us and the universe. That's Vigilantes Radio purpose. And thankfully, much like the Art King and his team over at FWTK Graphics Creates, we not only get a great range of designs to marvel over, but hopefully some incredible explanations as to the reason why these designs marvel us so much and the inspiration behind its concepts. It's an incredible pleasure to talk with King. I've been looking forward to sharing this interview and what he has to say about art design, his new book, Deeper, Volume 1, with all of you. His Instagram is truly contagious, so check it out right now at Instagram, which is I Am King of Gods. Yeah, check it out right now. I'll give you like 2 seconds. Takes no time. All right, back. All right, make sure to follow, and of course, in a good, contagious way. Anyhow, I don't want to keep you adoring listeners and fans waiting any longer. So here he is, Malcolm King Davis. Welcome to our show. Let's go ahead and unmute him. How are you doing, and how is it going?
Man, life is doing good, my brother. Life is doing real good, man.
All right, man. So how's the weather where you're at?
Man, the weather was nice and lovely today, man. Before we get on that, I want to say thank you for everybody for taking time out your holiday and tuning in for us here. And I want to give thanks to everybody on my team, and thanks all to God the Most High for having us here today and pushing this creativity and this growth. So before we get started, I just want to get that up inside the atmosphere, my man.
Definitely. And I'm sure, I definitely appreciate you for coming as well. And I'm sure the listeners appreciate you as well. We love meeting people with stories to tell, and aspirations, and hearing, the stories behind those type of things. So it's fantastic to have you. Yeah, it's fantastic to have you with us. I appreciate your time and efforts in answering all my ramblings that I'm sure about to follow. And I mean what I say. I'm glad that you are here with us today, King. So let's chat about this new, I want to say art, but I think I would rather call it a visual book. And it goes by the name of Deeper. And the new added ventures from your company, FWTK Graphics, and what each of you do over there. Y'all truly seem like y'all are some workaholics for whom the magic is still fresh. So yeah, let's get into that, man.
We definitely are workaholics, man. We actually live by like a slogan, what we call collect the bag. So what we do is we start every day off with like a 15 to 20 minute phone conference where we talk about what's going to go on for today from a creative standpoint, a business standpoint. And then we just do that all day long. With the Deeper book, the reason why I did choose to call it like an art book instead of actual visual art book is because of the concept that goes into the actual artwork. So trying to break that barrier that's linking, that keeps the digital guys separate from the actual artwork, because we actually share more trends than most people would like to give us credit for. That's the reason why it's actually classified as an art book and not actual visual art book, because we want to break them barriers down. Some of the most iconic art comes on album covers that we see more than we may see some popular artists every day. But we don't know who took the time to make that effort. So with me in this book, it's about showing people and breaking them barriers so we can kind of move forward and we can be represented more.
Right. And I'm glad you clarified that for us, because I've been seeing lately that the trend nowadays is to call their books visual books. Yeah. And they're sometimes to me is like overusing that word. I'd rather go back to art, because that's where it all starts from. That's what it is really, is art. So I'm glad you clarified that for us.
Yeah, the thing is, though, anything that you can create from nothing is a form of art. That's what my Instagram name is called, King of Gods. But you have to be a god to really take nothing and form something into it. It's just certain little things that we put inside of it that I feel like that would make us a unique and a special team of individuals. So we put the effort into making sure everything is to a whole different standard.
Yeah. Okay. And you successfully created a model for sales. A simple but genius step, to the old supply and demand rule. So what's currently driving you now to be so productive and keep it moving? You started off with the $10 covers, and I'm sure this day and time now, they're no longer $10 a piece, right?
They're no longer $10. And coming from like a poor area inside the city and growing up in like a single parent household, a lot of my younger years, I did turn to like that. I turned to not so standard like ways of getting money. You know what I mean? So pretty much I was out doing stuff at the streets a lot. So when I matured and became more like a man, a family man, wife and kids, you know, I took that same complex of business that I applied for so many years, and I just inserted that into my former class. Start off cheap, supplying with something good, and they shall keep coming back. And we just been building off of that term and measurement. And now I'm at a point where I want to open doors off of younger kids to see what I'm doing and see the positive way that they can make good money, and the positive way that they can invest their art. I mean, so that's the reason why our business model starts off so low. I mean, even to this very day, I still do pre-made covers as cheap as $20. I mean, so that way we hit every budget mark. I can find you something. I can sell you something for every budget mark. And then a lot of the tools I use for sale have been used and implemented from graphic designers from here or to the UK and back. I mean, I was one of the first ones on IG to do pre-made covers. People wasn't doing pre-made covers. I had the idea of, if you can lease a beat, you can lease a cover, you know, and then that was great for a few years moving to California, and now we just evolved to different things, different essentials.
Definitely, and I've seen it on your website, it's pre-made covers. That's the first time I ever seen something like that. I thought that was so cool, man.
Yeah, and I mean, it just fits every budget. I mean, we deal with an artist. He may not have a $90 budget for a cover. He may only have like a $20 budget. So we can make that happen for you too.
Right. I got you. And you have a very distinctive accent. Where are you coming from?
I'm from Pennsylvania, but I spend time everywhere, so I kind of pick up an accent from everywhere.
Cool, man. Cool.
California for a few years, MPA for a few years, so, you know, just skip and hop around.
Gotcha. All right. Say that again?
I should say this accent I picked up throughout like the journey, man.
Gotcha. So with something special always comes the desire to protect it and keep it special and unique. How do you prevent yourself from being a copy of someone else out there, or even yourself as you start working on new projects and products? You know what I mean by this question?
Yeah, I definitely understand you. I know for me personally, I take it back to being like a child. I mean, I've always been the kid who was different and unique and always stood out from personality, from speech, just from everything. So I'll take that same image when I design covers. I don't follow other graphic like that designers, first of all. So that way I can keep my own canvas blank. So if I'm not tampering with my creativity by seeing what this guy's doing or by seeing what this young lady's doing, I don't do any of that. So I don't have any graphic designers on to my feed or inside of my brain. It's not personal friends like that I actually have. So I think that's one key point. You can't harness something if you don't let it inside your soul. If you keep it out, you can kind of say no. And then for me, not to repeat myself, I just look at everything and I want to top myself one level up, top myself one level up, and top myself one level up. So I just think as creative, and I never want to give the same product twice.
Definitely. So any plans to challenge yourself in a new, exciting way on the next project that you'll create? There are 2 more books in the works that are being created, correct?
Yes, and yes, there is. See, what I'm going to do for the second book is going to be an art illustration book. So I don't know if you had a chance to go on my website and go in depth into it, but we actually have like an art section on the website where I kind of actually show my creative side more than cover art. I do a lot of illustrations on them. My illustrations have been shown like that respect from Gilly the Kid, Fast Five Freddy, Pusha T. I mean, there's a lot of big people who actually have some of my illustration works now. So the next book is going to be fully illustration, no cover artworks, no formal logos, in depth inside of my creative mind. And then we're going to get more into my stories and my journeys on how do we get to that creativity.
Right. All right. So you also been in contact with what seems to be a ton of artists from all over and at different points in their careers. And I get the impression that you really want to expand your brand and also help them at the same time or provide some type of service for them. What has inspired you to want to do something else for them besides cover art?
Being a true creative mind and being a true hip-hop head. I mean, I'm a hip-hop and music lover to death. So for me to go add that touch to somebody's project, I mean, I'm hoping one of my artists, P Dope, right now with a Not a Role Model project. And me and him actually did our first creative directorial project last year called 7 Days Straight. So on this one, we went more in depth. We dig to more creative boundaries and, you know, just giving him that extra creative input. When me and him come right together and we brainstorm and work out, hey, we're going to put this skit here. Let's do a song like this. Let's shoot the cover like this. It's just to let out the creativity. I mean, we have so much. God has blessed us all with a special gift. And my gift is the gift of creating. So I can create art. I can create covers. I can help you create your vision into a reality. I mean, so that's personally what I find enjoyment in doing with our cover art is let me take your project and let me add a little bit of creative sauce on it. And let's make it something that's going to be worth lifelong.
Definitely. So I got a question for you. I'm an artist too sometimes, every blue moon.
Sometimes, right.
But I always wanted to, like, sometimes in my line of work, I've come across artists who meet graphic designers, and they want something to design for them. They've like, and the designer's like, okay, so what do you want? And the artists are like, I don't know, use your magic skills or, you know, cook me up something. They give you a title and that's it. Let me ask you this. In those scenarios, do you ever take the song and listen to it to get, you know, kind of get the overall tone of it before you start working on a project?
I honestly go by person by person. If I talk to an artist and I'm getting his vibe from how he is as an individual, how he is as a person, and then he send me that song over, cool, I got you. I mean, there were some cases where I didn't heard the song and had the title, and me and him still had to sit down and brainstorm for a couple of days to really get to, you know, to get to the end of it. So I think when you're a true artist and you have true creativity, you're going to always be inside of a complex place. You know what I mean? So I personally like when cover art if somebody give me more of a direction on what do they want to do. Because sometimes from an artist standpoint, we can think of something that's very complex and very depth, and they may want something really short, right, all to the point, you know? So I think to younger graphic artists out there, graphic designers who are aspiring to be great, I think it's better to take each battle as an individual project, you know, and let's not say, hey, don't give me any of your opinions. I want to go and design it from the title. No, sometimes you have to evaluate like that your situation, and you'll come out like that's the best idea.
Definitely. So let's chat again about your current release, Deeper, for a second. Tell us about where this work of art have taken you since you produced it.
Then really what the Deeper idea first came from was having over 200 custom covers built up, having a portfolio that's very strong, dealing with clients from here to the UK to France. I mean, dealing with clients from all across the world. And thinking like, hey, man, it'd be so cool if everybody can sit in a barbershop and actually look at all these covers and look at all these artists and see what is their personal expression from the covers. Because some of my covers, as I've been told from artists, move them in a way of making better music, moving in a way of pushing the product better. So I kind of wanted to get that to the everyday consumer who may just see my artwork on Spinrilla or iTunes real quick and not get a chance to really get the full breakdown of it. So talking to one of my business partners, and we was like, man, let's do like a book, put out a book. And we pieced it together. We've been working on it for like a year straight. I keep on adding new covers to it because I keep making new files, but I'm finally done adding stuff to it. And I think once people get a chance to really digest it on my website, and we also have solid copies available for pre-order as well, I think people would get a better understanding of me as an artist. And I think once they see Deeper Volume 1 and when Deeper 2 drops and when Deeper 3 drops, it's going to be on a much higher platform. Probably about some double XL. It's definitely going to gain traction because there's no graphic designers that's really pushing the culture forward the way I'm trying to push the culture forward right now.
And what was the most important thing to consider while making this new art book, Deeper Volume 1?
The most important thing to me was not to flood it with industry artists. That was my most important thing. I didn't want to put a lot of my Gucci Man covers in there or a lot of Project Pack covers I just didn't want to flood it with big name artists. I wanted to keep it to the core of really what I thought was my best art. And the artists that I've grown relationships with. Putting relationships inside the book was very important to me. I want to show my clients been walking with me for a long time. I appreciate you the same way that you appreciate me.
Okay. So let us know about what directions you're looking to take the graphic designing in now, and what events or moments led to inspire you to take this direction.
The biggest thing for me was I actually owned a photography studio at 24 years old. So I was pretty young. Owned a photography studio, and was doing great things with it. Living life great. And, you know, just throughout that journey, I just kept being drawn back to graphics. I've been doing graphics for like 10 years straight now. Was nominated for Hip Hop Graphic Designer of the Year when I was 18. Won it when I was 18. And then,
Congratulations.
You know, just looking for growth. And me and my wife went to California, and we was in California living on just like a bed in an apartment with no real furniture. We was just dead broke. And just started doing covers one day, and it just clicked. Everything been coming together ever since, and it's just been a journey that I've been really on my whole life as I think back on it. So now I'm happy to on full circle.
Okay. So what are the current goals of Malcolm King Davis?
My current goals right now is always first is to try to get closer to God. That's always my first goal. I'll tell everybody, if you don't have a focus on who is your most high, you're never going to go and hit your goal. So that's always my first goal. And then my second goal is to be a good husband and a good father to my children and to my wife. And then my third goal is to push the culture forward, man, to try to make creative minds be represented more. If you think about it, there's probably, 1,000 songs come out every day, if not more. Mm-hmm. Out of them 1,000 songs, you probably can't name one graphic like that designer or even one creative director that help put together everything that goes into that artwork that normally gets forget and pushed over time goes on. So, you know, so hopefully what I can do is bring more light to this, bring more light to what I do, so that way we can save some other people who might have been in the same situation as me as a kid and understand there's a different way out. You know, and if you are creating, if you are blessed with a talent, I want to be there to help piece your talent like that together.
Definitely. I definitely agree. All right. In terms of looking at your career from a long-term aspect, what's the biggest challenge you think that you could see yourself facing in the years to come, and how might you be able to overcome it, you know, to continue on creating your aspirations?
I think my biggest challenge in years to come, if I'm to ask myself now, is would I ever lose my creativity? Because creativity is just like anything else you have. You can use it so much, and then you get to that wall where you're like, oh, what's next? Yeah. That happened with me with like that photography. I kind of hit that wall of what's next. And then once I got over that wall, it was a great journey in front of me. So I think me thinking long term and me thinking 10, 20 years from now is I'm going to have my own graphic designer studio / juice bar type of situation where people are going to come in, be able to create, enjoy themselves, move forward with the culture. I mean, kind of be a face. I mean, like, we overlook the Bashiashes and we overlook the Fast 5 Footy, but their level of creativity is really what pushed the culture forward. That's what pushed hip-hop forward. If you didn't have Fast 5 with his creative mind, and for me and him to have shared a small conversation, that was really touching to me. You know what I mean? For him to tell me, man, like, and you're doing great work, I mean, and your time's coming, that was a pinnacle moment. And I feel like for somebody of that legend, he's a legend, to see that in me and say that about me, I feel like I'm going to be able to change people's lives in years to come. So I think that my biggest hurdle is staying as creative as I can and also stay moving forward. Sometimes when you're doing well, you kind of get stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, if I'm making a couple $100 a day doing covers, I don't got to worry about moving forward. I'm good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then you have to move forward. That's what kind of what we did now. We kind of just started doing like producing die cut stickers now. I mean, so that was something kind of new for me to kind of push me to still be creative, but still stay within my lane. So I'm hoping as my journey goes and continue, I can stay finding new things to help push the business forward, to help push my creativity forward, and to help set an example that we can make anything happen if we put like our brain into the action of it.
Definitely. So, King, what else did you learn through these sessions that might help you personally when you go to produce your next book?
Planning, man. I mean, I'm a pretty good planner now, and I feel like I planned the book very well. I'm going to set a last artwork deadline this time, man. I just did a real cool cover probably like a week ago for one artist, and I'm like, man, I got to fit this in the book. And I talked to my business partner. He's like, man, we gotta stop adding stuff, man. You can't keep adding stuff. So I think, for the next time, is to say, this is the deadline date. No more artwork goes in after this date, and also just push a little harder. I mean, sometimes I get so caught up with my business side of stuff that I sometimes lack on pushing my own creativity stuff. Because I'm doing 5-6 covers a day, 5-6 sticker orders a day. I mean, so it could take up a full day.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm like the same way, man. Get lost in the business side, and the creative is just, all right, well, I'll wait my turn, It's all business.
Right. Yeah, it got to be all business. I mean, so I think for the next book, I'm going to definitely push the creative side more. And for this book, this is really kind of my tribute to the artists that have been rocking me for a long time. In the next 2 books, I think people are going to learn me as an artist more. People are going to see my style of actual true art more. And I think they're going to walk away understanding the journey. This is more like an introduction. This is like, hey, I know that you guys have followed me for years. I know I got 20K on Instagram. I know I'm bringing in pretty nice size bags, but I want you guys to see what got me to this point. The next 2 books are going to show you the points that we're going to go to, and it's going to take you to a level past that.
Definitely. So, King, I have a wide open question for you. Tell us 5 things that you know to be 100% true about the graphic designing business.
5 things that's true. Okay, thing number one that I was 100% true: the client is always right when the client's wrong. So I say it like that to say, if a client tells you, hey man, I think this looks better with purple, you're like, oh man, but like red the color is gonna make it pop out. This is graphic design 101, my man.
Yeah.
But the client's still right even if he's wrong. So you have to find a medium point in it, and you will get that. You will get the client that's going to bash you to make something great not look great. But he's the one saying, so you got to find a comfortable point. You got to be able to say, you know what? I know maybe you are wrong, but I'm going to let you be right this time. Yeah. And, I mean, that's, I think, is probably the biggest one. That's number 1, hands down. And number 2, I think any creative mind, you are an engineer of your writer, of your graphic design, always save your work as you go. You got to save your work as you go, man.
Oh, man, that is so true.
So true. So true. To this very day, and I've been doing this for almost 10 plus years, I still have some days my wife be like, save your stuff, man, wait enough. 3, I would have to honestly say time management. You have to manage your time well. You have to be able to manage your projects well, your time well, and your execution well. 4 is no fail. I feel like a lot of times I look at graphic design and stuff, when I do look at this stuff, and I see they are working inside of a confined box. So that box that they're working in is pretty much saying, this is what people like, I'm not going to step outside of that box. So they're working inside the limits of field. So you have to work fairly. And that's number 4, right? Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
5, man, I'm going to go with selling dope, man. You got to sell a dope product. I mean, no matter where you at, what you doing, you got to sell dope, man. It got to be something fire. Right?
So true. All right, that's cool, man. Any graphic designers out there listening, definitely take heed to those pointers he just told you. And actually in any industry, those who work in any industry.
Any
Time
field.
management, sell dope. I mean, not dope as in drugs, but dope as in product.
Dope as product. I mean, I can't knock nobody, but man, you know what I mean? There's 1,000 ways to eat, and let's try to find one to keep us free, man. You know what I mean? So that's what my goal is right now. But you have to sell dope product. If you don't feel want to hang up on your wall, what's the point of even doing it at all, man?
Save your work, also. That's what he said.
Save your work, man.
Save your work. All right, so those were my top three that you said, man. All five were good, but those were the top three for me. All right, so we gotta do it.
Man, you gotta be fearless, because see, the thing you're doing right now, fearless thing. You're on radio right now, and you've been doing it for years, and you doesn't do it inside the box. It's a fearless effort. You know, a lot of people work in that, learn to being afraid what somebody's gonna think of them. So you have to be fearless. Yeah. Man.
I appreciate that, man. I'm definitely an introvert at heart. And in person. So yeah, this was something for me to. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, you know, and most people who are very creative are a form of introvert. So yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the whole Gemini complex. All right, man, we gotta do it. So websites, where can people find you mostly active? And what can they expect coming up from you for the next year and within this year? What news have ye, and where can it all be found?
All right, so I keep it real simple for everybody. My Instagram, my Twitter, and my website is IamKingOfGods.com. IamKingOfGods.com. It's simple. Type into the URL, pop right up. Type in Instagram, pop right up. There's only one of me. There's no copies. There's no carbon copy. For the business side of stuff, FWTKGraphic.com. That has all of our links on there as well, and all of our contact. For the stuff we have coming up, we have Deep Will Dropping Friday. We can't forget that. 7/7. Number of completion, by the way. So we can't forget that. That comes Friday. The website and pre-orders will be available. It's dropping on Amazon Books and iTunes and all that stuff later on inside the actual month. We have not a role model. I'm creative, the director of that whole project, all about Baltimore's own P-Dope. That drops, I want to say August. I'm creative director of another project called Rapture V that drops on Saturday. Them are both things that I'm hands deep on. So they also doing the website, doing Instagram and Twitter as well if you want to check them out. From a business standpoint, all we're going to do is keep growing. I don't like to give out too much of my plan at one time, but we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep growing. If people really want to follow the journey, I tell them, go to my Instagram. You see my journey. As you see when you got my Instagram, I'm very engaging on there. I think we got 20K right now. We're still building. And I recommend people to follow me on there. That's where you're going to really get a chance to really feel my creative spin. Get to see my life. You get to really see why we do what we do and how successful we are at doing it.
Definitely. Yes, sir. All right, man, before we get to the best part of the show, I got one question for you because I heard you mention 717, 7 being the number of completion. I'm definitely into numerology and the things of the divine, but I also see that you're into symbols.
Yeah.
What does symbols mean to you?
Symbols, I feel like, is a natural form of expression. Not try to get too deep into stuff and try to break stuff down too far. Visual art is symbols. So when you see a symbol, there is an Egyptian symbol, a zodiac symbol, and so forth. That's a form of art expression. It's an art expression that goes and connects directly to you. I'm big on colors. I'm big on symbols. And I just recommend people do your research on your symbols, because your symbols can actually tell a lot about yourself. You know, so 7 to me is a very important number. It means the number of completion. Throughout my life and throughout my journeys and my trials, my tribulations, and be able to make it to age 30 in an environment where the normal age of a black man is 19. You know what I'm saying? So you have to reach the level of completion. That's why me dropping the book on 7/7 was so important to me, because we have completed a journey so we can unlock into the next one. So symbols, to me, is just the ultimate connection to pretty much ourselves, to our history, to whatever God you choose to praise, and so forth.
Yes, sir.
I mean? So that's really where it's come from, on my end.
Definitely. All right, so after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the Hot Seat, and our fans love this part of the segment. And, of course, along with the actual interview, but the audience get to hear some good old singing, maybe a poem, spoken word, freestyle rap, maybe a joke or a story, or maybe even a live instrument from our special guests. But you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. And this evening, we'll find out if Malcolm King Davis have what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry. But for right now, we have an artist by the name of Bossalina with her song Watch My Step, and we'll be right back.
Herbs on a beat, herbs on a beat, herbs on a beat.
Yeah. Build my own studio, start laying tracks. Started from the bottom, bitch, I write my own raps. I'm a female boss, all damn, they hate that. They hate when a boss show up and show out. Got these lame ass bitches with my name in their mouth. Want a little fame, fuck that, I want Skrilla. Keep product in your face, they say I'm gorilla. Super got me tripping, yeah, I'm smoking on that loud. My music speed for me, yeah, I'm ballin' with the crowd. Watch my footwork, hey, young unstoppable. High step into the money, gotta go, I gotta get it. Fuck boys, gotta learn that, you gotta prove it. Can't stop my vision, night vision, telescope. Bow tie, sauce dipping, yeah, high flow. I'm floating, hand gliding, just watch how I go. Just watch how I step, just watch how I flow. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. 25 mixtapes, summer after summer. 3 years watching my cash flow double. They wonder what it's like, but don't know the struggle. In the city, breed pit bulls with a muzzle. Chevy hybrid, when you talking about muscle. Them lame ass clones, they're not on my level. Just watch how I do it, just watch how I step. Yeah, I come from Cali, but they see me in the text. Catch me in a tone, I'ma get it, I don't dance. But I turn up in a minute, do my dance. Burn up, push when I finish, do my dance. Step in the club like Diddy. Catch me high def, Blu-ray, 4K. Stay fresh, fashion, my forte. Flow the culture, I rep it. See me in the city, I go. I don't dance, I don't step, motherfucker, I float. They say Bossalina, Bossavella, she dope. I bubble, I bundle, race at the dope. Stay making money, so they watch me go. People change, so I just let them go. Who gives a fuck if you around with your bro? I do my step, trying to get up on my business. Just watch how I step, my grind, stay relentless. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step. Watch how I do, just watch my step. Watch how I walk, just watch my step. When I'm dancing to the money, just watch my step. Everywhere I go, they watch my step.
Putting things in order. So it finally got to me. All those little pink slips of paper floating around my desk, all the books piled on top of each other, and all the newspaper stories spilling over the floor, all the random files and email messages hidden in every nook and cranny on my two main computers. I was surrounded by mountains of information, but unable to use it. It was so unorganized and haphazard that I spent a good portion of my time just digging through it to find what I needed. And yesterday I bit the bullet. The thing that finally motivated me, that caused me to realize I needed to do something, was my need to upgrade some software. In order to upgrade, I needed the serial number off of my existing version, and I could not find it anywhere. It turned out that I had it. I was just looking in the wrong place for it. After 2 long distant phone calls and waited on hold for customer service or a robot, I was told by someone halfway across the continent to where to look for my number, and it was right where she said it would be. Now, not wanting to repeat the same experience, I set to work. I put together a master database on my computer to track all the people, things, ideas, resources, places, concepts, account numbers, passwords, phone numbers, email addresses, websites, books, magazine articles, and other information that crossed my path on a daily basis. In just a few hours, I had my desk cleared off and everything neatly entered into my database. Gone are the little pink slips with phone numbers. gone all the yellow legal pad pages of all my random ideas. Now they're all organized and searchable, with some items carrying reminders set for a particular date. What I discovered was that I had a wealth of information at my fingertips that I was just not using. People I meant to call, letters I meant to write, great business ideas that I never acted upon, valuable resources. All these things came to light. In the day-to-day rush of many important things get ignored because of the urgent of things that come along. It is helpful to think of all your activities and categorize them as either urgent or not urgent, and important or not important. That gives you 4 basic categories: urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not important, not urgent, important, if that makes sense. All right, the first 3, we find a way to take care of those. The urgent things get our attention first, even if they're not that important. Even the not urgent, not important things get done, usually because they are easily to do and give us some sense of accomplishment. Unfortunately, the last category, not urgent, important, is the one that gets ignored and put off until later. These are the mind-bending, difficult tasks like revising a business plan. Oh, I hate those. Developing a new marketing strategy. Oh, I hate that. Calling people who've been referred to you. Don't call me, text me or email. I'm just kidding. Putting together a training program or writing a new advertisement piece. These kind of activities are critically important because they have no urgency and because they require a great deal of effort. We put them off until they're often forgotten. What I realized, though, in organizing all my information is how many opportunities I was overlooking each and every day. So now I put together a system to remind myself of those important but not urgent things that really need to be done. It gives me a whole new sense of possibilities. And with my increasing ability to quickly access the information I need, I'll be able to make time to get them done. And who knows, I may be a millionaire tomorrow because I think of a million things, sometimes while I'm sleeping. But anyway, it's amazing how much time is wasted just looking for information. Everything in one easy, accessible place, I can discover a lot of possibilities that never would have come to light before. So think about the things you've been meaning to do, but keep putting them off. There are things that can make the biggest difference in your life. Chances are you put them off, or some of them, so long that you've forgotten about them, just like the wishes I talked about earlier. Dig them back up. Find a way to keep them at the center of your attention and keep yourself busy with the important things. With that, let's bring our guest of the hour back, Mr. Malcolm King Davis. You are now live in the hot seat. So what do you have for us?
Man, so I'm not a freestyler, I'm not a rapper, I'm not a poet, I'm an artist. So what I'm gonna leave you guys it's gonna be a form of a quote that I feel like every artist should use and every artist should draw from, no matter what their form of art is. The quote that I'm gonna choose is gonna be like a Jean-Michel Basquiat's quote. It's saying is, I don't paint for money. I paint off of what comes off of my life. So by me saying that, I just wanted to get it because point being is that whatever you do, whatever you create from, bring it from your soul and bring it from experiences of your true life. And then you will see great levels of that success. So in other words, don't fake it, bring it in off of your soul, and greatness shall come. And that's what I got for you from the hot seat. It was a pleasure being with you guys tonight, man.
Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you. And guys, make sure you connect with him on his website and social media links as well. If you didn't catch what he told you earlier, don't worry. I put him in the description of the show, so all you got to do is click the links. All right. Thank you, my Vigilantes family.
And I'm going, guys. Thank you, man.
And also special thanks to our guest, Malcolm King Davis of FWTK Graphics. Yeah, for joining us this afternoon on the holiday. Man, we are dedicated. Don't firecracker your hand off. Be safe. Peace.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or our website, which is only1mediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or send something for us to play, email it to the radio at onlyonemediagroup.com. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, something you got to deal with. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate you guys for tuning in either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. And also special thanks to our guests for joining us. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr. We are all over. Just connect with us and we do follow back. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.